What's going on, everybody? Woo! God, I know my uh notifications have been all over the place. Dear God, come on in here. Let's get some music going. Let's get some good vibes going. There we go. Shout out to Me with Opinion for that fantastic song that he wrote. I love it. As you guys come on in, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Trying to make Jay Witt proud. Oh man. Ooh wee. What's going on? What's going on? In the meantime, we're gonna put up some hey shit, how you doing? What's happening? How you doing? How's it going? That's how I'm gonna put up a video I want to show you all. This is while we wait for everybody to come in. Y'all, we gotta do it. We gotta get some. Hold on. We gotta do it. We gotta get some more nostalgia in. Shout out to the Specialist channel. Yeah, they got some good Oswald Bates nostalgia for us. And I want to check this out while everybody comes in. As you come in, you guys make sure you're hitting that like button. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to be doing more of a bedtime story as we read this 76-page lawsuit. It's 76 pages, Lord have mercy. But typically I read those lawsuits, like if I read the whole thing, I'm going to read it like a bedtime story, y'all. It's going to be real calm and real relaxed, real smooth. Is that all right? In the meantime, let's check out some Oswald Bates, a.k.a. the first Umar, except he's funny. He was doing a show. Get some comments in. Cher's in the house, my fantastic mind. What's going on? How you doing? You good? I'm always happy to see my mods up in here. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to my mods. Best mods on YouTube. No one can tell me differently. Now I have the best supporters, the best members. You all, we are 15 subs away. 15 subs away from being at 28,000. And it's all because of all of you that have supported me here in the LLC. Thank you all so much for the love and the support, the likes. We have the $25 goal every live. And sometimes we meet it, sometimes we don't. Yesterday we exceeded it. And it's an absolute blessing. And it balances out. You know, I think the previous 2 streams that I didn't meet it, but it balances out. So we bless God. I never limit it, but I try to keep it reasonable, you all. And it goes towards the expenses of the channel, as always. So hit that like button. Make sure you guys engaged in the chat. Everybody speak to everybody. We're going to check out some Oswald Bates while people get in here. So by the time we get ready to read this lawsuit, y'all will be snuggled in bed and good and cozy. I don't know where you guys are. Some of y'all are like 2-3 hours behind me. But it is 9:10 Eastern Standard Time. So yes, this is going to put me to sleep. Oh, reading is fundamental. Hope everybody's doing good. Dr. CB, what's happening? Did you see where Serena Williams lost her mind on the cotton plant? No. Yeah, I have been watching, and I'm going to be honest. I watched Candace Owens live today, and I went hammer time in her checks. I went hammer time in her chat, and I recorded a clip of me sending comments in her live stream, asking her about date and time stamps for her text messages that prove nothing, Candace. They prove nothing. How do you not give us date and time stamps? You're talking about as a group text, and then you're searching for words in your own group text that's on your phone device. Does it make sense for someone to go through the group text looking for the word donor? That's what she did. When she posted the text messages, the word donor was highlighted. That's an indication you're searching for that word in your group text. If you have text messages that prove some point you've been trying to make, why do you have a group text where you're searching for certain terms? How long is this group text thread? And why are there no date and time stamps? Who are the other people? Like, she doesn't mind doxing random people like Phil Lyman and his mom and nephew, cousin, whatever they are. No one cares. Then pride herself in trying to find some imaginary peanut on Brigitte Macron that doesn't exist. Candace, at some point, your attorneys are going to grow a spine and a backbone. They're going to tell you shut the hell up because you're really making it harder for yourself in court. I keep trying to tell y'all. Character development means just as much as the facts to prove or disprove a claim. In a civil proceeding, absolutely. So her behind sitting here posting up text messages with no date and time stamps, it's just hilarious. It's hilarious. But unfortunately, I did not get the chance to see much of anything else because I worked a little late. I also didn't get the chance to do the live earlier regarding Nature Boy and carbonation. Shout out to Hood Horrors. He's actually going to be premiering his newest episode of the series tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard, in my time. So if you have not checked out Hood Horrors, make sure you check out Hood Horrors YouTube channel. And if I can get the mods to drop, please, pretty please drop the YouTube channel link for Hood Horrors. Because I might still be live, but I'm going to catch his replay, as I always do, because I like to sit down and enjoy his videos on Nature Boy. So it's just an awesome series, and I recommend it to everybody. Everybody. All right. I could care less about Candace Owens. I know. What's going on, Black Anonymous? I know. I took a picture today to make her lose her mind. Only 16 for me. Yeah, that's why I said I forgot you 3 hours behind me. Oh man. What's going on, Black Anonymous? I could care less about Candace Owens. It's crazy how she losing her mind all over the internet. Serena at a ritzy motel decorated with a cotton plant. She videotaped herself being insulted by a damn plant. Am I supposed to laugh at that? Because that's exactly what I'm doing. I think that's funny to me. Did you see the Victoria event scandal where she put fake R charges on a man and she was taking animal drugs, claiming she was a health guru? What's going on with Serena Williams? What's going on, Boston man? How you doing? Low MSC. It says because no one cares. Because no one cares, Candace. You're doing your erratic stuff. And, laws. Candace does not know how court works or evidence, for that matter. Oh, man. Let's go. Candace, that's my boo. I hear you, man. Tell you might have to get in line, because after Charlie Kirk, then it's her husband, and then anyone else. So, you might have to get in line, bro. Be waiting a while. Oh, man. It's just good to get a good laugh in. I don't stop anybody from supporting people. I don't even stop Umar Tardians from supporting Umar. But, my whole goal is research and reporting and, pointing out inconsistencies, things that to me would be logical. She's not doing logical things. And it's just, her narcissism is just on steroids. The first time you said Hood Horrors, I thought you were saying Hood. Oh, Hood Horrors. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Fantastic content creator. Hood Horrors. Yeah. Interesting. What's going on, Information Man Show? How you doing? Moss, please drop the link to Information Man Show in the chat. Hood Horrors, Black Anonymous. I dropped the link to Black Anonymous's blog. So we're gonna get to that before we start reading, because it's not long. What's going on, Clay? Everybody speak to everybody. What's up, Ralph Mars? How you doing? What's happening? All right, y'all. Let's just get some laughter in. I'm well, thank you. How are you this evening? I am okay. I'm good. I've been a little busy. Had a eventful day between work and a corrupt judge I had been reporting on for the last 6 months, has finally been put in her place. The JQC, it's a Fulton County Superior Court judge here in Georgia named Shamila Williams. I have a whole playlist on that heifer. Was under investigation with 30 counts of everything from wrongful detainment and putting a young lady in a holding cell to biased conduct and inappropriate behavior to abuse of her position, her being arrogant in the hearings, pissing off the entire hearing panel. So they all three unanimously decided that recommended she should be removed from the bench. Let me tell y'all something. God is so good. That woman handled my case, and I'm not ashamed to say this. This woman handled my case because she's family law, and she handled my case. I was drugged through court with my ex and custody stuff, and she handled my case, and I filed the complaint myself, and it was just unreal how biased she was. And now that she's being recommended to be removed, her ass needs to go. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Judge Felicia. Yeah, get out of here, girl. Bye. So that's been some good news today. I'm going to do a separate video on that. But I got a whole playlist, you guys. Make sure you check it out. I'll drop it in the chat as well. Because I really want people to check out this corrupt judge. It just goes to show sometimes at the end of the day, you just don't win. Just don't win. So let me hold on 1 second, guys. I'm coming. All right. So we're going to check out this Oswald Bates just to get us all in the mood while more people come in. Let's get to it. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see it here. Make sure you hit the like button and let me know what number like you are. Let's go.
20th Century Fox presents 48 Hours Again, starring Oswald Bates.
I want to talk to you, Bates.
Would you knock before immunizing the room?
Yeah, shut up and listen. One of your ex-buddies, Billy Bear, just busted out of prison, and you're going to help me find him. You got no choice, convict.
You cannot expect me to digest my secretions. Kiss my behind.
Look, Bates, help me find him. I'll give you anything you want. Anything. Just tell me what you want.
I need to assist my penal implanter. Lactify an oil embankment.
In other words,
I need a dictionary.
You got it, Bates. Ever been to the country bar, Bates? These good old boys are gonna love you.
I can follow my own discourse.
Think so, convict? I can't wait to see it. Hell, I'm even gonna give you a badge.
Here.
Your siliconic gyrations got my delicatessen open. Bitch.
Howdy.
Oh, no.
Beauty.
What do you want to drink? Black Russian?
Oh,
Would you like me to suppository tenderize your posterior, not to mention your posterior? Where's Boo-Boo Bear?
What the hell are you talking about?
Relate the definitions, locality of Boo-Boo Bear, or else be circumcised.
Oh,
I
Lord.
don't have to tell you nothing.
On the contrary, my redneck declared, I've been pigmatized, my colon card.
Okay, you're a cop, but I can't understand you.
What we have here is a failure to ejaculate.
Yep.
I don't know what you're saying, but I'm gonna kick your butt.
Go ahead and make my comb bag. Listen up, all red rockers. I'm about to fornicate your innermost ovulations.
We don't understand what you're saying.
Regurgitate or be turtle wax.
If somebody doesn't tell him where he is, not only is my throat gonna get sore, but he's gonna be talking like this all night long.
Please, not that, okay? Billy Bear lives next door, second floor apartment.
Hi, Colonel Sanders. Remember, there's a new douche in town.
48 Hours Again, coming soon to a...
Oh, you gotta appreciate the raw talent of Jim Carrey as well. Oh my God, man, this is great television right here. You don't get stuff like this in Married with Children anymore. So you know, is the Boondocks still making new episodes? We might just have to turn to the animated comedy just to get some good television and script writing in. Oh man, this was epic. All right. So I'm gonna switch over to before we get to our fantastic bedtime story that is the lawsuit between Archibald the Umar Tardy and Johnson and Poetik Flakko, Shakim Harris. Let's get to this blog. Shout out to Black Anonymous. Why is this a celebration in quotations? So I think one of the exhibits in the lawsuit refers to someone referring to or being referred to as an anti-Afro Svengalis. So I just wanted to kind of go over this so you guys can, I guess, like me, understand. It's my first time reading that lawsuit as well. Aside from what I skimmed over yesterday in the summary. It says here, one thing I can say is that, and I want to make sure you guys can see, make myself small. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Tavares? Hope everybody's well. If I can get, if one of my mods, please can drop the YouTube channel for Information Man Show, Black Anonymous, Hood Horrors. That would be awesome if you can. Let's see. I don't know why legit people in the conscious community don't get check people like Umar and Polite. Yeah, it's like they, I mean, of course you gotta think about, the average content creator that does have a platform, not really wanting to be doxxed, but it's sad to say that a lot of people steer clear because they are fearful of the intimidation and the doxing. It's sad to say that, but that's probably one of the main reasons why. But more people do need to really hammer it in and just tell the truth. And if him and his Umar Tardians do anything, I'm definitely going to seek a legal recourse and file a complaint. I mean, that's kind of my MO. I don't see him play those games. Free speech and expression and freedom of the press is something we all enjoy here in the U.S. Not because Umar doesn't like it. Umar, no one cares about your temper tantrum. All right. So it says here, one thing I can say is that portions of the Umarian, it's close, spot on. I don't feel bad about saying Umar Tardians then. Sector of social media can get quite bizarre. I'm particularly speaking of the folks who appear to be pro-Umar Johnson. I'm not saying that these people are bizarre, displaying what I would call bizarre behavior because I don't agree with Umar or with those who do agree with Umar Johnson. I'm saying that there is some bizarre behavior of these folks because I truly believe they are bizarre. Oh man, case in point, it's this so-called celebration because they believe they stopped anti-Afro Svengalis. So I put the link to this article in the chat. And I just wanted to kind of go over it before we get into this lawsuit. Why did I find this so-called celebration bizarre? Well, like D. Darrell, who got his YouTube channel shut down. Anyone who gets their YouTube channel shut down can simply create another channel, just like D. Darrell did. D. Darrell is in the video dancing around with a bottle of Ciroc, celebrating someone else's alleged demise. It's hard for me to believe that a licensed professional counselor would record himself behaving this way. So what exactly is being celebrated? The lady named Tiffany appeared in the same video in a nightgown and robe showing a lot of cleavage. Couldn't help but to see it. Oh, man. Some of them do outrageous stuff. And it's like, this leaves an imprint on social media. So if you don't want to look back at this 10 years from now, and call yourself being embarrassed, why do it in the first place? Like, that, it's not going to age well when you're sitting here, halfway dressed and doing stuff like this. This is so crazy. And repeated several times in the video, Asshole, and touting Snoop Dogg's wine. Doesn't she work as a social worker somewhere? Would this be considered appropriate behavior for someone in her position? So what exactly is being celebrated? This character who calls himself Poetik Flakko, who present with what appears to be bottles of alcohol, celebrates the alleged downfall of anti-Afro-Svengalis. This is the same Poetik Flakko who conducted scripted interviews lies with a gay men found on Craigslist and paid them to implicate Lennon Honor as a down low married man. Y'all, this is something else. So what exactly is being celebrated? Lastly, and this is as much as I can take of the 4+ hour video, Shakim Ra is known or shown, popping his bottle too in celebration of the alleged downfall of anti-Afro-Svengalis. This is same Shakim Ra, who is in a video with calculator adding up Lennon Honor's super chats. So they pocket watching. Funny how they won't ask Umar where the donation dollars are being spent and ask for one damn receipt or proof that you hired a vendor or contractor to do anything. Or even if someone just offered to do it, for free or at a reduced price. If that's the case, then what are you doing with the money that you're not spending on vendors and contractors? They're scared to ask him simple, basic questions to show that he's being responsible and being held accountable, like he died on the cross. And that is what's scariest of all. Idolizing a mere mortal, and for what? So the only reason for them to behave this way in regards to anti-Afro-Svengalis and perhaps all of us who consider ourselves anti-fraud warriors is because anti-Afro-Svengalis speaks is the truth in regards to Umar Johnson, and I contend that there is an unhealthy amount of haterade in this mix. I find this so strange. Yes, indeed, the pro-Umar sector, in my opinion, is quite bizarre. Shout out to you. Black Anonymous, thank you so much for sharing it. And now let's get to the at the top of it all. Yo, we have the actual court filing. Now, I want to make sure that I do my due diligence and show, what has really transpired after he filed this complaint. And I'm going to show that at the end. I have the court docket as well. And actually, I can show the court docket now before we get started on it. But there is an order from this request. And there was also a letter. So I want to make sure I show, the docket, the information is, and not just when I read these lawsuits, I'm not trying to give the appearance that I'm being biased. I want to make sure I share all of the information with you all. And then you take from that what you will. Personally, I think he should, continue to try with getting a new complaint filed. But that's, my thoughts and opinion on it. Because Umar is not going to stop doing what he's doing until he's forced to stop by law. Bottom line. And we all know he's scared to go to court and face a judge because he's a coward. So, let's see here. Let me show you all the court docket first and foremost. Let's get that out of the way. And I want to make sure you guys can see it. Hold on 1 second. I got to share that screen so we can have full transparency. Hopefully that's all right with everybody. And if not, I don't know what to tell you. All right. Here is the complete case docket. This was filed in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. And you guys can see the civil docket. Case number 20-CV-06207-JMY. This case is still considered closed. So that should give an indication on what the order stated that was rendered from his last request to reopen. There is an order on file, and I'm going to show that after the lawsuit. So we scroll down here. The original complaint was filed on February 7, 2020. And I want to make sure you guys can see this. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button and put a 1 in the chat and let me know you've hit it. Everybody speak to everybody. Engage in the chat over here. And listen, Umar Tardians are always welcome to come into the chat, but be respectful. We don't have to agree. And no one's telling you to stop giving over your hard-earned money to a con artist. But it doesn't change the fact that he has definitely failed to produce receipts and documentation to show what he's doing with the money. It's just my opinion. He's a con artist. All right? Shout out to you, Fly Boys. How you doing? What's going on? Thank you so much. Black Anonymous, you are a mod, so if you're able to drop links to channels, I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you doing that for Information Man Show. So you guys make sure you check out Information Man Show, Hood Horrors, Black Anonymous. Make sure you drop the link to your chat as well. I'm just kind of skimming over you guys' comments. What's going on, Ad Avis? How you doing? Bogus complaint Tunde. What's going on, man? What's going on, Lance? How you doing? 170 mode. What's happening? What's good, people? What's good with you? Francisca, how you doing? Thank you all so much. Hey, Manny. Hey, Manny. And you guys, once everything is ready, we'll be dropping links to everybody that has content and channels here. I'm not going to ruin the fun. But we're definitely going to support those who are. Unless you want me to tell it all, Manny, I can. But if not, I keep it to myself. Got a surprise. Derek Harrison, what's going on? I see a lot of new people in here. Thank you all so much. Hit the like button. Set. What's happening? All right, let's get to this. I want to make sure I got everybody's comments at least shown. I try my best to do that. So if we go down to through the, where is it? Okay. We go down. This is the case docket. So you guys can see August Archibald versus Umar Johnson. And I believe, the other two co-defendants that were named, not sure if they were named in the beginning, but they certainly were added to the complaint. And of course, August Archibald is pro se. Let me pull that down here. I see an email address. I wonder if it's still active. I would love to interview him. If anybody has any information on him so that I can, set up some sort of collab and interview with him, that would be fantastic. Shout out to Lene Stacks. We got to schedule another interview with you, Lene Stacks. And I'll respond to her email after the live. So starting back on December 7, 2020, you guys can see the complaint was filed. There was a designation form as well and an application. You guys see here to proceed in Fortimer purporters, something that Umar failed to do when he called himself trying to sue Lynn and Honor. This is what this does. It tells the court that you can't afford the court fees and the costs associated with filing a lawsuit, but you do believe you have enough, grounds and information, documentation to file it. Everyone has the right to seek legal recourse in the court of law, but have your evidence and information when you do it so that, it increases the chance of it not being complaint not being so easily dismissed. Because first strategy with the defense is to file a motion to dismiss, as you guys will see that here. Let's keep going. Hold on 1 second. I wanted to cut this down a little bit. Thank y'all so much once again for tuning in. Okay. So you see here a demand for a jury trial, of course, because I would ask for the same thing. Not gonna lie. Okay. Then there's the pro se notice guidelines. So when you're pro se, the court expects you to conduct yourself and to be knowledgeable of court rules and laws, including case law, as if you are a bar licensed attorney. Judges do tend to give a little bit more leeway when you're pro se, especially when you cannot afford, an attorney. If you can't afford the court costs, you certainly can't afford an attorney. So the goal should not be to, litigate from the bench, but it's, also a level of compassion and understanding and patience you have to have with people who are pro se. So when you're pro se, don't take advantage of that nicety. Every judge is not like that. So let's keep going. Got the copy here. Then there was an amended complaint filed on January 11, 21 by Archibald. And of course, the jury demand. Then there's a copy of the order. A U.S. Postal Service addressed to August Archibald for the following reason. So there was the documents that was filed that came back undeliverable. So here you see return from U.S. Postal Service addressed to August Archibald. So for some reason, something that, was sent to him came back undeliverable. And then you see on January 29, 21, a second amended complaint was filed with an email attachment. And then on February 2nd, 21, there was an order in place that plaintiff August Archibald's application for leave to proceed in forma pauperis is granted. So he was basically asking the court, for a waiver to grant the petition to avoid paying the court costs and fees because of his financial situation. I don't think he was in prison at the time. So it's either of those two things. You're either a prisoner or non-prisoner, but you are, experiencing some sort of financial hardship. March 4, 21, there was a request for extension of time by the petitioner. August, there's an email attached. So this docket is good for understanding each step that occurred throughout this process overall, from start to finish, and it helps to kind of explain certain things that you may or may not see in the petition itself or in the complaint. The order, plaintiff's request is granted for an extension of time until March 22nd, 21 to file a third amended complaint. So that third amended complaint was done on March 22nd. It was filed. Then there was a letter motion to withdraw fled by, it should be filed by August Archibald. For some reason, he wrote a letter to the court and a motion to withdraw the case. Now, I can say it's probably based on the level of threat or, the conduct or the behavior that you're alleging may have, slowed down to a point where it's not necessarily harassment or bullying or anything like that. Or it could have ceased altogether. But I certainly would not. Someone like Umar? No. No, we're not withdrawing anything. So, but that's what happened, So he decided to do that. March 26, 21, a supplemental letter was filed by the petitioner. And then you guys can see March 29, 21, emailed letter dated by Shakim Harris was attached and sent. And then there's some other entries added to the case of emails from Shakim Harris, one of the co-defendants. And then you have here March 29, an order that the above caption action is hereby dismissed without prejudice, and the clerk of court is directed to mark this case closed. This was back on March 29, 21. So they followed the letter. They closed the case and dismissed it without prejudice. But because it was done without prejudice, it gives the petitioner the opportunity to refile a new complaint. So if this is back in 2021, he's definitely tried to do that at least once. Then you have another email from Shakim Harris, and then a letter March 16, 2022. So this is about 6 months after the order was, granted for the case to be closed, dismissed without prejudice. And then you see September 16, 22, letter dated by August Archibald to Judge Young. I hope I'm saying that right. And then there is an amended complaint against, now you have Shakim Harris being named Umar Johnson. And I think this does also include the YouTuber, Poetik Flakko. So you guys can see here the amended complaint filed, motion to reopen case by August Archibald, and then a fifth amended complaint. What happened to the fourth one? I don't see a fourth one. But a fifth amendment complaint was filed on March 19th, 2022 against Umar, as well, with additional attachments. Then you have a letter dated September 23rd to the court. Then on September 28th, the order that Archibald's request to withdraw his letter from 9/16/22 and his motion to reopen is granted. Archibald's motion to reopen is denied without prejudice. This case shall remain closed. So what happened was twofold. The judge granted his request to withdraw the letter. So he treated that as one request that the judge granted. But the actual motion to reopen the case was denied. Why? Don't know, but we'll find out. And on July 17th, this was back on September 28, 22, where the order was filed and given. And then July 17th, which is the petition we're going to read, there was another motion from the plaintiff to reopen the case. On August 23rd, you guys can see here, and this is the last activity on the account. On the docket, order that plaintiff's motion to reopen is denied. This case shall remain closed once again. So this is what we're about to check out here. And then I'll show the letter right quick. I don't know if you guys can see that. This is the letter he wrote to the judge. Honorable Judge John Milton Young. Let me zoom in. Dear Judge Young, this is dated March 25th, 2021. So this is the letter he did to withdraw the case. All right, motion to withdraw. He said, I respectfully withdraw this case pursuant to Rule 41A1 without a court order and without prejudice. And that's exactly what the court granted. Defendant Shakim Harris is harassing people that are not associated with this case. Please see Exhibits A through L. Harris made an unsubstantiated workplace complaint against a person named Andrea Stewart. Harris made the complaint pretending to be a person named Shakim White. Harris filed a similar made-up complaint against another person named Gerald Palmer, also known as Reverend G, using the same made-up name, Shakim White. Harris made a false workplace complaint with Palmer's employer. Harris alleged that Palmer had inappropriate relations with students at the college where he works. What the hell? What kind of allegation is that? And then, you know what that does? That prompts the employer to have to do an investigation. And then, of course, you know, that could be a matter regarding some sort of criminal charge here. Inappropriate relations with students at the college. This is crazy. What the hell? So these people, man, they go out their way to just destroy people's lives. Why? All because of Umar? It's like they treat this man like he's God, like he pays their bills. He doesn't even pay his own. What is the benefit to that? That's a strong accusation right there. And of course, there were exhibits A through L. On March 24, 21, Palmer posted evidence from his employer confirming that Shakim Harris's workplace complaint against him was false. So the employer had done an investigation, naturally, and they had determined that the workplace complaint was a false complaint. That's more of a reason why to keep the case open. And just kind of use that as an example to show the behavior of the doxing and the cyberbullying and, of course, the defamation. You filing false complaints to someone's employer, and then they turn around and say that the actual complaint was false. That's something worthy of a lawsuit. I'm sorry. As per Palmer's posting, he appears to be in the process of getting a restraining order against Harris. Yeah, naturally. Let's see here. We got some exhibits. Ooh, child. Look at this. So here's Exhibit A. Yeah, this is why we're here for the exhibits. Shakim Ra Anti-Afro-Singalis, Andrea Stewart reported to the Lemon Grove Family Health Center. Going after people's jobs, are we? And then, of course, there's the hyperlink for that YouTube video. And then it kind of reiterates what he stated in the letter about filing that false complaint with this person's employer. And then they used a fake name. Criminals are stupid, okay? I think, can we all agree to that? Put a 1 in the chat if you believe criminals are stupid. Put a 2 in the chat if you think criminals are smart. Put a 3 in the chat if you're saying to yourself, Lady Luck Club, why the hell are you asking us that question? Criminals are so dumb. So dumb. You can't make this up. Man, you can't make this stuff up. Ugh, y'all. Oh my God. I see some 3s coming up. I know. I just, as you come in, thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. This is why we had to start off with some humor, because it seems like this lawsuit is going to get dark really fast and dangerous. Unbelievable. Why would you do this under a fake name? I mean, if you're already breaking the law, you don't think an investigation would somehow connect this whole false complaint back to you? Why all of a sudden punk out when it comes to you telling your name if you're going to file a false complaint? Why don't you give your real name? Why make it hard for people to find you doing dumb shit? That's illegal. It's crazy. These people are cowards, man. It's unbelievable. Who are Umar lawyers? They got to be some sleazeballs. Umar's lawyers have got to be the equivalency of a snake oil salesman. The only thing is, they went to law school. It's like, how was he paying his attorneys? Because, I mean, of course he's using donation money, but for those who don't believe it, how else is Umar Johnson paying his attorney fees? This is unbelievable. All this for Umar Johnson, a man who wouldn't spit on them if they were on fire. Exactly. Craziness. God. Donations. What's going on, Willis? How you doing, man? Hello, everyone. Make sure you guys are engaging in the chat. Hey, Anita, how you doing? And y'all hitting that like button. 41 people watching. Let's hit that like button. This is good stuff right here. I don't know if anyone else has dived this deep into this lawsuit here, but this is how I go through lawsuit documents, the court documents. I pull up the whole thing. I'm very thorough in this. This is unbelievable. So he's using a fake name, filed a false complaint against some third person to their employer in an effort to basically get them terminated. So you're trying to mess up with someone's livelihood. You're effing with people's lives and their livelihoods. There should be lawsuits in here that I'm reading where whoever this Andrea Stewart is, they should have gotten a healthy settlement or some sort of judgment against this person. Shakim Harris would be making content just to pay me a legal settlement and nothing else. Oh my God. And then he filed with a fake name. What a coward. This Umar Johnson lawsuit is BS. He only had 2,000 subscribers. This video only got 296 views after 12 hours. Was it even worth it? 19 likes, 13 dislikes. That video would not have even been in the algorithm. Was it even worth it? 296 views is worth you breaking the law. Unbelievable. Then you guys have the link there. They, do put links for any video evidence that you have. whether it be in a civil or criminal case. It's just a hyperlink to it. And then, of course, what you want to do is add the timestamp, because, judges don't like to read a lot of documents. They definitely don't want to sit around watching hours of video if there's only specific timestamps that they need to see. So that's just kind of my, recommendation. Put a timestamp in that to make it easier for the court to check out the video evidence. Then they have here, you have 7 days, quoting Harris in reference to a person named Andrea Stewart. 7 days to do what? Is this probably why August Archibald decided to file a letter to the court asking for, a dismissal without prejudice? Probably was bullied into doing that. Look at the retaliation that he got from exercising his right to seek legal recourse in court. From somebody that's got a little over 2,000 subs at that time. Crazy. So you guys see in the comment here, at Anti-Afro Svengalis, should have never filed that bogus lawsuit. You've got 7 days until I release my civil suit to the county of San Diego. Not smart enough to know that you could just do a counterclaim in the same case. These are people that doesn't understand how the law works or how court works. They don't read to save their damn life. You don't need to do a separate lawsuit. You can just do a counterclaim if you feel you have a case. It probably would have been dismissed and laughed out of court, but they had the right to file a lawsuit. You have the right to do a counterclaim. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Who needs to make a threat and say, you got 1 week or I'm filing a lawsuit as well? Now you're making it known that you're doing this out of bad faith and you're simply retaliating. You're not doing this in the pursuit of justice. That's why his counterclaim would have been denied vehemently. He would have gotten a strong rebuke. He would have had to pay out extra money in a judgment just for wasting the court's time with his nonsense. Judges don't like that. Filing frivolous petitions in bad faith, they don't like that. It's a waste of their time. So clearly he would have done that out of retaliation, not because there was some violation of law or anything like that. Nah, hell no. Too much like right. So it says here on March 23rd, 21, Shakim Harris was asked on camera how he knew that a person named Andrea Stewart filed this lawsuit. Harris was unable to provide any evidence. Despite this fact, Harris continues to assert that a person named Andrea Stewart is a plaintiff in this lawsuit. The name is August Archibald. What are they reading? What reality are they in? How nutty should I expect these people to be? Umatardians are just out of this world. What universe is this? Why is he not reading the same thing we're reading? Because now they're seeing things. This is crazy. Yo, we're still on the exhibit for the letter that Archibald filed to have the lawsuit dismissed without prejudice. That's where we at. You can't make this shit up. Oh my God. It is a statement of fact that nobody named Andrea Stewart is a plaintiff in this case because they're not listed in as the plaintiff. What the hell? Then you have another exhibit here. Reaction, Anti-Afro Svengalis, Andrea Stewart, Umar Johnson lawsuit exposed part 1. What? So he has a second YouTube channel? This is insane. And then for them to sit here and talk about they're adding in some imaginary petitioner in the matter. All for what? I mean, why dig yourself a deep hole and lie? Oh my God. Shakim Harris is encouraging his followers, associates, and supporters to harass the Eastern District of Pennsylvania court. Yeah, because that frivolous lawsuit would have been very annoying. Reverend Gerald Palmer reported to Metropolitan Community College. Yeah, he had 298 views on this. And this is from March 5th, 2021. a reverend? You're going after ministers? What the hell? The way of the wicked leads to destruction, addressing false allegations. This is crazy. So he's gone by Shakim Ra, and then Shakim Ra. I'm, if I'm butchering it, I'm not trying to, but it's just being pronounced the same in my head. So both names are used by Shakim Harris. Oh man, look at this. So this Reverend Gerald Palmer post up looks like a text message. Gerald, thank you for taking the time to speak with me regarding Shakim Harris's notification alleging abuse and assault of an MCC student, as well as your concerns regarding cyber harassment and bullying allegations made against Shakim Harris. And this is a text that he posted in that video. This is something else. Okay, per our conversation, you deny the allegations of abuse of an MCC student or any student for that matter. We also discussed the resources provided MCC police and local police to assist with the restraining order process. Please let me know if there is anything we can do to assure your safety at MCC. As I stated during our telephone call, we have to address each issue brought. And naturally, right? So you get a complaint, someone is, abusing someone on a college campus, that the first thing they're going to do is investigate it. That's the first thing they're going to do. But clearly they, determined that it was a false claim. Then of course here you see more information in the text. Please let me know if there is anything we can do to ensure your safety at MCC. We have to address these issues brought forward, but we'll do so accordingly. Okay, that was the last bit of the other photo, y'all. And then of course Shakim Ra comes back with his video, reported to Metropolitan Community College for alleged S crimes. What the hell? Do you understand the implications of accusing someone of engaging in any criminal activity? That is the epitome of defamation. You're not only making provable false statements that can be proven to be false in court. The Gerald Palmer, he would have been able to bring in witnesses to testify on his behalf that actually, either aided in the investigation or has knowledge of it. And documentation to show that it was false. So Shakim Ra would have been blasted by the judge. And probably, referred for charges for perjury, if not, is scolded on that by the judge. Defamation is something else, man. Confirmatory evidence on final 2 pages. Okay. This dude, what is he on? Is he still a content creator? Is he still on YouTube? 41 people, 29 likes. Y'all, this is offensive to have 29 likes. Do I need to shake the bushes? Obviously, you're here. You're enjoying the content. And you're not getting this content anywhere else. Hit the like button. 45 people, 29 likes. Let's go. Let's go. Hit the 1 if you've hit that like button. Let's go. What's going on? Did I miss Lance? Okay. Hey, Foxy. Hello, Queen and everyone. What's going on, Foxy? To Roxy, one of my awesome and fantastic mods as well here. Yeah, I have some great mods. Willis said, Umar spending a lot of money on legal fees. Y'all, this is crazy. Thank you for the 1. The 1 if you have hit that like button. What's going on, visuals? Yes, Shakim still creates content on YouTube. Oh, Lord. We'll have to check out his videos in the next segment because this is something else, y'all. You can't make this stuff up. And all for what? All for what? He look hot. You gonna lie that bad? Whoever Reverend Gerald Palmer is, he should have sued the crap out of him. Egyptian mathematics, chemetic with an E, science of the pyramids, DNA, and the sun frequency vibrations. What the hell? I can guarantee you he probably didn't even pass biology in high school. That's a bunch of nonsense. What the hell is this? Oh, Lord. Jesus, please be a math teacher. Okay, we're moving on. You can't make this up. Jesus, be an English school teacher as well. Why are you spelling Kemetic, Kemetic? Why is this stuff not spell checked? Hieroglyphics? What? Why is this not spell checked? Yeah, oh man, little stuff like that just bothers me. Oh, hold on. Okay. So that's that. That's the full. Yeah, is that all? Yeah, that's the last page of that. So, like I said, we'll go back to the order after the reading of the lawsuit, and we're ready to do it. And I need you all to hit that like button. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's 10:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 76 pages. All right, let's go. Let's get to it. I wanted to make sure I showed everything I could so that you guys can hold on a second. Get the full picture, full scope of everything. And people are gonna talk, right? And be like, "Oh, you still talking about Umar? Yeah, reasons." Oh no. Yeah, I gave all the information. So it's not a matter of being biased. It's just a matter of presenting all the documents. Y'all ready? Let's go. So I read the letter yesterday in the live. I can read it again and just kind of go over it real quick. So this is to the Honorable Judge Milton Young, dated July 12, 23. It's a letter accompanying a motion to reopen the case. He respectfully asks for leave of court to open this lawsuit and proceed under the current name or alternatively as John Doe. Umar Johnson, Poetik, Flakko, and Shakim Harris are all aware of this lawsuit. The proposed operative complaint is included in this mailing. In 2023, adverse actions related to Archibald v. Johnson continue to occur. This includes a swatting attempt against a U.S. military veteran who was doxxed, defamed, and targeted by Umar Johnson, Poetik, Flakko, and Shakim Harris. This is in 2023, just 2 years ago. So they've been at this for 4 years. This case goes back to 2020, 2021. They've been at 2020. They've been at this for 5 years. 5 years they've been at this. Umar Johnson has repeatedly asked and encouraged his followers, supporters, and loyalists and or clout chasers to dox, threaten, harass, and execute various types of attacks, quoting Poetik, Flakko, and 23 against Black people, including myself, who are critical of Umar Johnson and FDMG. Respectfully submitted, August Archibald, plaintiff pro se, and the 3 co-defendants. So let's get down to the original complaint. This was from, no, this is not the original. I'm sorry. This is, I think, was this the most recent amended complaint? This was filed July 17, 2023 with the court. All right. Defendant number 1, Umar Johnson is sued in his official and individual capacity. Umar Johnson, a.k.a. Jermaine Shoemake, a.k.a. Blubberbutt, resides in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Wilmington, Delaware. What is his addresses? Well, his mama's house is obvious. Like where does he reside in Wilmington? Oh, perhaps it's the school. Yeah, I forget. Umar, this is what happens when you film all the junk and clutter shit in that gym of a building that you can't prove you personally own. So I guess that is his house. That's my assumption. All right. Jurisdiction, 28 U.S. Code Statute 1331. Venue, based on 28 U.S. Code Statute 1391, B1 and B2. Defendant number 2, Poetik, Flakko, resides in California, in North Dakota, and or Pennsylvania. In 23, Flakko said his real name is Frederick Minyago Jala. Flakko was known as Lyrical Genius 45 during his failed rap career. What? He's a rapper? Oh, man, come on. I just want to make sure I had this expanded. You guys can see it clearly. This is something else. So he's a rapper that failed, that decided to sit here and dox people for fun. Am I missing something? Oh my God. What's going on, Rim Rum? All right, cool. Let's go. Let's just proceed. This is something else. All right, so Flakko was also known as Lyrical Genius during his failed rap career. Flakko is the sniper in Umar Johnson's Good Guys crew / gang. Wow, the sniper. Defendant number 3, Shakim Rashim Harris. Harris, aka Shakim Ra, aka Shakim Ra. I'm just gonna say Ra. Resides in Michigan. Harris uses the aliases of Shakim White and Devon Artemis. Harris said he's FDMG's co-founder and co-owner. Is he? Harris is a 6-figure, we're quoting Harris, with the Good Guys. So he's making 6 figures here. Guess what you cannot do, Harris? You can't go to court and say you broke as hell. That's no different than people who go out and defraud the government with PPP loans, and then they do dumbass videos on TikTok and Instagram flashing the money, and they get mad when they get investigated and get caught. You know how many people are sitting in prison right now for self-snitching when it came to those PPP loan frauds? People were literally admitting to fraud and then showing all the money they had, or the houses, cars, and all the other dumb shit they bought with the money, and then got mad when they got caught and had to face charges. That's what this is. Telling on yourself, talking about how much money you're making. You can't go back to court and say, well, I don't have the money to pay that type of judgment, Your Honor. I'm broke. I'm not working. This, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. Now, you said you were 6-figure N-word. You said it. So that's a matter of you self-snitching, and first thing people are going to do is use your evidence, use your videos against you in the court of law. Related case number 1, Brown v. Tokpa, case number 21-CV-01844, in the Eastern District of Louisiana. The suit was filed on October 8, 2021 by Catherine Brown and Umar Johnson, supporter and Good Guys associate with ties to Dempsey Darrell Spears. Flakko is the lead defendant in Brown v. Tokpa. Am I saying it right? Tokpah. Several other Good Guys are named in the suit. Related case number 2, Reed v. Moore, case number 121-CV-00991 in the Northern District of Ohio. Good Guys co-founder Spears issued several public warnings accusing me of conspiring to terrorize the Black church sector. What the hell? Accusing me of conspiring to terrorize the Black church sector. How would that happen? Terrorize the Black church sector. Not a church specifically, but a sector. How do you prove something like that? You want to make an accusation about someone trying to terrorize an entire sector? How do you prove that? This is so outrageous for them to do this. Spears says Archibald v. Johnson was slander against Umar Johnson because, you know, they just have no spine and all. Tiffany Griffin, Shakim Ra, Poetik, Flakko, and Spears himself. Okay, then that would have been left for you to try to prove in court, and you would have had the opportunity to do a counterclaim. Why not go the route of filing a counterclaim if you feel that you're being slandered? Here's the thing with these civil proceedings. The petitioner is the one with the burden of proof. And for a civil matter, the burden of proof is a preponderance of the evidence. That means you only need to be like 51% convincing. Is it more likely than not that the defendants you're naming committed the offenses or the allegations in your complaint? Even if you get a jury trial, it just needs to be the majority. It's not a murder trial. So is it more likely than not? A criminal matter is the only time where you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. But in a civil procedure, you only need to have a preponderance of the evidence. Do they not know this, or do they know and they just don't give a damn? This is what happens when you sit here and do dumb shit and you don't understand how court works, and then you get mad because you named in a lawsuit. You get named in a lawsuit. Oh my God. All right. Spears' public warning videos are centered around the third amended complaint, TAC, for Archibald v. Johnson. Spears claims all of the TAC 70 paragraphs and attached exhibits are frivolous at best. Would Spears be an attorney? Is he an attorney? It don't seem like it. Spears names well-known Black church sector members King Jives and Larry Reed in his public warning. Spears is named in Larry Reed v. Daryl Moore related case 21 CV 00991. Y'all can't make this up. September 22, correspondence with the court. On September 16, 22, Mr. Harris stated that he does not have time to be going back and forth with the courts. Mr. Harris appears to be in two court battles with Dempsey Darrell Spears, aka D. Darrell, in his Harris County's court in Texas, and Catherine Brown v. Takba in Louisiana. Present day, 22 through 23. Harris litigation against Spears is not moving forward in Texas. Harris has not responded to Brown v. Takba, and this is aka Poetik Flakko. So I'm just going to say Flakko. In Louisiana, Harris apparently does have time to continue pursuing a lawsuit in California's state court system against a woman named Andrea Stewart, though. Yeah, because being hypocritical is something that goes over their head. You got time for this lawsuit where you're filing against someone, but you don't have time to answer a lawsuit when you're named as a defendant or a co-defendant. Yeah, priceless. Harris alleges this Andrea Stewart is anti-Afro Bengalis AAS. Harris' lawsuit is directly related to Archibald v. Johnson, as stated by Harris and his good guys, associate Tanisha T. Price. A lot of people are being named here. Yeah, okay, y'all help me out and tell me who these folks are. I don't want to get lost in the melee. This is something else. 51 people watching. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Y'all, we're reading a lawsuit like a bedtime story, because you can't make this shit up. I'm actually a geek. I enjoy reading these lawsuits. Who are all these people? This is something else. Is this the Tanisha person that was kind of like Umar's ex that had to close down her business or something like that? It's the person, it's on the person suing. Yeah, it is. Flakko don't wear drawers. No wonder he is a deadbeat father. Man, this is crazy. Umar's making time to go and put, hits on people online, but he won't make time for his kids. Make that make sense again? He won't even clean up the gym. This is unbelievable. I don't care how old this is. The fact that it's still going, especially with Umar still doxing people in 2025, is a damn shame in and of itself. And he has the audacity to try to decry victim with Marianne Lorient, who was actually sued by Umar with a slap suit for $500,000. She didn't take him to court. He was trying to take her to court. He was trying to get some intellectual property because he decided to be in her documentary, The Awakening. And guess what ended up happening? They turned around and settled with her. This is how stupid Umar is when it comes to the law and any matter regarding, a proceeding in court. And whoever his attorneys are, they're complete completely disingenuous. They're a disservice to the rule of law. They're giving him false hope that he can win something when he can't. Why would they file a complaint against Marianne Lorient for $500,000? That's a slap suit. The only reason why they would want to do that is to silence her. They know they would not have any standing in court. They would not have been able to meet their burden. We've all seen the lawsuit that Umar filed against Lyndon Honor. It was a bit of shit. Clearly, he does not even know how to do that. He thinks he knows the law when he doesn't. And when it comes down to him going to court, he runs away like a scared little punk. This is absolutely asinine for them to still be doing this stuff to this very day and think that no one is supposed to call them out on their bullshit. It's crazy. As stated by Harris and his good guy's associate, T. Price, the intended purpose of Harris' lawsuit is to obtain personal information about AAS through litigation. No, it's not. You feel like stuff is going to be put out there. I mean, that's what happens with court. People want transparency in our legal system and in the courts, but then when they end up in that predicament, then they start to feel the realism. It becomes surreal for them. Like, oh shit, did we understand what we were asking for when we wanted the courts to be transparent and to make everything available to the public? Unless it is a sealed matter, or there's information that's redacted, or it involves minors, or it involves protected individuals such as victims of, human trafficking or abuse victims. More than likely, the documents will be made available to the public because that's what we demanded as, Americans. We wanted the courts to be transparent. So when you do dumb things and break the law and commit cyber crimes and you end up being named in a lawsuit, that's part of that consequence. But that's standard across the board. That's not something specific to one case over the other. Why not just ask the court to seal it or redact it? I mean, problem solved. It's so crazy. The plan was originally developed by Poetik Flakko in 2020. Poetik Flakko said he sued AAS for Umar Johnson. After Poetik Flakko learned about Archibald v. Johnson in late 2020, he threatened to assault AAS in early 2021. What? You gotta be shitting me. Are you serious? What am I reading? Poetik Flakko, after having learned about this lawsuit in 2020, threatened to assault AAS. This is the anti-Afro Bengalis. Are you kidding me? Who does this? What kind of threat is this? He threatened to assault someone in early 2021. Harris, Price, Spears, and Flakko all blame anti-Afro AAS for Archibald v. Johnson. You threatened to sexually assault someone, man. What the hell? That is sick and depraved. This is unbelievable. That is so disgusting. Rum said he asked Marianne to make it, but didn't put up a dime, and he wasn't supposed to be in the documentary since someone else was supposed to play Umar, but he forced his way into the film. Exactly. She even said it herself. She said, Marianne Lorient had already picked an actor to play Umar. He invoked himself into her film, and then he dictated it so bad that it seems like it went way off course from her original script. And then he tried to dominate the direction of the film and then turned around and filed a lawsuit against her if it actually premiered, wanting the rights to the film, like he had anything to do with the making of the film itself or paying for it. Are you all seeing this? This grown man, on behalf of Umar Johnson, threatened to assault AAS, any woman. And yet they want to sit here and talk about black queens and princesses. What the hell? I'm floored. I am floored. All right, let's just wow, that's so sick. That is sick and evil. Harris has merged related case Harris v. Stewart in California State Court with related case Harris v. Archibald in the EDPA federal court. Harris names both cases on his federal subpoenas, quoting Harris. Harris said his litigation efforts saved Umar Johnson, FDMG, and Poetik Flakko from numerous civil and criminal legal issues. How? How does it shield them from criminal legal issues? How? How does it even shield them from civil issues? If someone was to file a lawsuit against them, they're going to do it, especially if there's enough evidence to substantiate the claim. And when it comes to a criminal matter, those charges are brought forth by either the prosecutor, who could be the DA or the AG. That is something that this Harris person does not get to dictate. You don't dictate criminal charges that are brought forth to the court from the prosecutor. You have nothing to do with that. This is so outrageous. The ignorance of these people who did all of this on behalf of Umar Johnson. That person has no power when it comes to Umar being criminally charged with anything or indicted. Unbelievable. Events occurring after Archibald v. Johnson's March 21 voluntary dismissal have enhanced the factual accuracy of the third amended complaint. Harris has publicly identified himself as the co-founder and co-owner of FDMG. Harris said he was asked to act on behalf of Umar Johnson and FDMG by who? Umar? And exactly what does that mean? Because you're not an attorney. You're like the spokesperson, or you're the person just taking all the hits. So Umar's throwing Harris in front of the bus and letting Harris get ran over. That's how I'm, understanding it in my mind. Umar said, you know what? Come here. Stand right here. And like a good little sheeple, Harris did that. And now there's a freight train coming, and he's mad about it. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. You're talking about a cult. Oh, man. If this is not cult, I don't know what is. After this lawsuit became known to the public in December 2020, Umar Johnson and his good guys accused me of being Reverend Gerald Palmer, MSW, Reverend Palmer, several different women believed to be Anti-Fro AAS, several different women believed to be Andrea Stewart, Common Sense Eli, David Bruce, members of Frederick Douglass's family, AFW LLC, Miss Lauren Radio? Miss Lauren Radio. Who's that? Catherine Brown, Jason Thornton, Mona DeLeon, Lennon Honor, as well as several other individuals. What the hell? Oh, sorry. This you can't hold on. Okay. Do y'all see what I'm saying? After this lawsuit became known to the public, Umar Johnson and his good guys, the cult members, accused this one person of being all these people. A Reverend Gerald Palmer. They accused several different women to be this AAS, several different women to be an Andrea Stewart, and then accuse other people of being all these other names below. How do you claim that someone is suing you and assume that they're a member of Frederick Douglass's family when Umar Johnson claimed to be a descendant of Frederick Douglass? Make that make sense? You can't make this. So you're sitting out here, Umar, telling people you're a descendant of Frederick Douglass. Get this. Sicily, 1942. You're telling people you're a descendant of Frederick Douglass. And then you turn around and accuse various people of being family members of Frederick Douglass when a lawsuit becomes public information. Are you serious? This is so, man, you can't make this up. Umar Johnson's Good Guys function as a FDMG support apparatus, an online goon squad. Let's not forget code. It's code. The Good Guys provide doxing, defamation, intel, harassment, retaliation, swatting, stalking, and slander services, as well as other malicious and nefarious services for Umar Johnson and FDMG. And this is a school that people want to send their kids to. Please understand, if you send your black boys to FDMG Leadership Academy, they're definitely going to learn how to dox, defame, create intel or gather intel, harass, retaliate, swat, stalk, and slander others. That's going to be their classes here. This is the curriculum at FDMG Academy. Doxing, 101. Defamation, intel. This is the entire curriculum of FDMG Academy. All of these cyber crimes. You can't make this out. Yeah, I'm sorry. You got to find a humor in all of this to keep from being mad. Yeah. This is the entire curriculum of FDMG. All this shit here. Yeah, you look forward to that. The doxing, the defamation. Yeah. Your kids are going to come home making up false statements against you in your cooking. It's unbelievable, man. To be malicious and nefarious. Umar Johnson's close confidant, FDMG Loyal Donors Club, administrator, FDMG Loyal Donors Club member, and FDMG Ifatunde University alumnus Tiffany Ebony Griffin, aka Aunt Tiff, aka the self-proclaimed African witch bitch. What? Quoting Griffin, this is what she calls herself, is a FDMG Good Guys member holding the title of First Lady of the Good Guys. Y'all, just because you call yourselves Good Guys does not mean that you're not a cult. I don't understand. Even Nature Boy admitted that he was a cult. He claimed that he didn't know what it was, but he at least admitted that he was a cult. They won't even do that. Oh my good Lord. Good Guys came into existence after two key events occurring in 2020. Umar Johnson publicly requested and demanded his supporters to obtain the real names, home addresses, employment info, and other personal details about Umar Johnson's haters, a word that he cannot define, a word and or term commonly used by Umar and any other cult leader to describe his critics, detractors, and or doubters, including myself. Umar said he wanted this information for the purposes of pulling up, some meaning to confront somebody in person where the likelihood of violence is high, doxing, threatening, and attacking his haters. So you're threatening to attack people, but then get mad when they call you out on the threat of attacking people? Y'all, this is not something that Umar has done alone. You have other cult leaders that behave like this, with this code of personality. That's their MO. You don't like what I'm saying and doing? Okay. I'm going to intimidate the hell out of you. I'm going to harass you. I'm going to commit all kinds of cyber crimes. I'm going to get mad if you file a lawsuit. And then I'm just going to have people show at your house and induce physical harm upon you. And then get mad if you try to get a protection order against me. And then I'm going to get even more mad if you try to file a lawsuit. That's their MO. This is unbelievable to the extent that they're willing to do this by creating what sounds like a criminal enterprise. From 2020 to present day 23, the Good Guys' primary target has been AAS, a woman that Umar Johnson has been obsessively targeting since 2018, possibly earlier. Umar Johnson has doxed at least 5 different women alleging their AAS. Poetik Flakko blamed AAS for Archibald v. Johnson. Poetik Flakko threatened to assault. This is still disgusting. It's just hard to comprehend why he would threaten to assault someone. Why? After learning about Archibald v. Johnson, the third amended complaint highlights some of Poetik Flakko's threats directed at AAS in 23. Poetik Flakko said he loves Umar Johnson. Yeah, because that's not weird. Oh, let's not forget Umar said he wants to cuddle with little boys by the fireside. So that sounds about right. After the September 22 motion to reopen Archibald v. Johnson was withdrawn, Good Guys member Spears launched an investigation into several women named Andrea Stewart. Spears alleges a woman named Andrea Stewart is AAS. Good Guys associate Tanisha, sometimes spelled Tanisha T. Price, of Delaware, appears to be leading the Good Guys investigation into AAS. Good Guys members Poetik, Flakko, and Harris have expressed their support for this investigation into AAS because reasons. Do they not have a job? They sound bored. Yeah, I mean, why not just go to the school and clean up the gym? Umar, you are an alien from outer space. You're an evil being with no soul. Where's your mother? This is insane. These people are weird as F. I know, right? Miss Lauren Radio is hilarious. That's what the Second Amendment is for. Yeah. You show up at someone's home on their property and you're doing it with the intention to do physical or bodily harm or injury. That person reserves the right to protect themselves and to defend themselves in their territory. Bottom line. So you step foot on their property and they pop your ass one in the ass, then that's self-defense. Because how do you sit here and threaten to sexually assault someone and think you're not going to get your ass whooped with some sort of steel rod or baseball bat or gun and a bullet? I mean, how do you expect that to not happen? And yet they're the main ones that go out talking about, oh, this person is threatening me. You're threatening to assault someone sexually. Are you kidding me? That is so sick. It's disgusting. That's not a joke. It's not a game. And then the idea of someone pulling up to your actual property in person to do something to you. Yeah, you can come on my property if you want to. My neighbors have cameras, weapons, they're licensed to carry, and everything else in between. Good luck to them. That's crazy. You can't make this stuff up. These people got families, children, a life. One of them are being falsely accused of assaulting kids at a college campus where they work. I mean, they're ruining people's lives and their livelihoods. They're putting people's, lives in grave danger. And this is how crazy and unhinged these people are. And then you get mad when you sue them. Oh no, the humanity. Oh no. Umar Johnson, approximately age 48, is the founder of FDMG Academy. He didn't find shit. Like he just kind of rolled up and woke up one day and decided, you know what, I should just open a school and just keep saying that I'm going to do that for 11 plus years. According to Johnson, FDMG stands for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey, RBG, which is red, black, and green. Because how dare it be for Ruth Bader Ginsburg? International Leadership Academy for Black Boys. Umar Johnson has publicly stated that FDMG is owned by the donors, specifically the Black people who have donated to FDMG, because he doesn't want government money or, wealthy donors to actually donate and sponsor to a school opening, because he doesn't want to be held accountable for how the money is spent. So he just goes through neighborhoods and communities where people are living check to check and struggling and just leeches off of them, because they're not going to ask any questions and they're just going to show up and do his bidding at someone's house and not expect somebody who might be licensed to carry to come out and defend their territory. Yeah. All that and in between. FDMG was incorporated as a nonprofit in 2 states, Pennsylvania and Delaware. Umar Johnson may also be incorporated in Georgia. Ugh. In December 22, Umar Johnson stated FDMG will be opening at the end of February 23 or in April of 2023. because he couldn't pick a month. Why would you open in what would be the second semester of an average school year? Can someone explain that? Why would he open a school in February or April? 2 random months in the year. That still would not make any sense. You're talking about theoretically being in the second semester of the average school calendar year. By April, we have a month left before May hits, and then you're talking about kids graduating. Who opens a school 1 month before the average school is set to close for the summer? Makes no sense. And of course, no FDMG opening occurred in either of these months because he lied like hell. FDMG's campus. All right. FDMG campus consists of 3 abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware, was purchased for approximately $400,000 in February 2019. Then the address is listed 610 through 611 East 17th Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19802. Related info suggests that Umar Johnson may have paid $10 for the deed to FDMG's campus. That's not how much he paid. And his name is not even on the deed. It's the FDMG LLC that's on the deed. I got a copy of it. There are additional questions as to whether the property is even owned by Umar. Unless he has evidence to show that he actually owns the property and his name is on a deed as Umar Johnson, I'm going to say no, because I don't see any evidence of that. Then I just go on what the documentation shows. Property may be owned by other people with ties to Umar. The FDMG campus is believed to be a chemically contaminated property, recommended for demolition by Delaware and the U.S. EPA. The area where the FDMG campus is located was designated as an EPA brownfield site. That's something else. Why would the city of Wilmington allow anyone to buy those buildings? They should have demolished them, because now you guys can see the black mold that's growing on these buildings. So it's not far-fetched to believe that these buildings were definitely contaminated in some way and should be demolished. Black mold is growing on the outsides and seeping through the foundation and the wall of the buildings. And we've seen plenty of video and photo footages to show that. So they need to just make the call and say, we're going to tear these buildings down. You're not even treating the black mold. Unbelievable. All right, quoting the EPA's Brownfields program provides grants and technical assistance to communities, states, tribes, and others to assess, safely clean up, and sustainably reuse contaminated processes. And here's a link here, epa.gov/brownfields. This is from May 23. The FDMG bank account that Umar said is frozen. Umar says he has a FDMG bank account where all donations are deposited. Umar Johnson says he has direct access and executive controls over the FDMG bank account. Because he said they're frozen. Umar has not provided consistent monthly, quarterly, or annual updates about the FDMG bank account. Umar Johnson has not disclosed the name of the bank where the FDMG funds are held at. Umar has said he has never used the FDMG bank account for his own personal expenses. He will have to prove that. Umar, you have to provide evidence that you're not transferring money out of this alleged account, to which I don't believe exists, but whatever. I think he only has one account, and all of the money he gets from Cash App and PayPal funnels into this one account, because he has not proven otherwise. He hasn't proven anything. So I don't believe he has a separate account for that. If Umar is telling the truth, then hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars should still be in this account, naturally, because Umar loves to self-snitch. Umar Johnson's work to save black boys and fight for black people. Umar Johnson promotes himself as a revolutionary Pan-Africanist who is doing the work to save black boys and fight for black people. Umar Johnson saving black boys rhetoric borrows heavily from the scholarly work of Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu, PhD. Some of Umar Johnson's critics, doubters, or detractors have accused Johnson of plagiarizing the work of Dr. Kunjufu and black revolutionaries like Malcolm X. Naturally. Yeah, I actually pulled up this website when I did my comparison, the video analysis between LeBron James, I Promise School, and Umar's FDMG. I pulled this up also when I went over the dissertation because Umar emailed the school to get the dissertation. It's as dumb as you look. Unbelievable. He referenced this website in his dissertation for a doctorate degree. And shout out to Johnny Walker Dredd when he came on the show. He confirmed the same thing. You're sitting here citing this Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu in a doctorate dissertation. And it's not even, he's not even citing like the book itself. He cited the website. Because you just can't make this shit up. I went over that in the video where I covered the dissertation. You guys make sure you check that out on the Umar Johnson playlist I have on my channel. Yeah, because there's a playlist. Y'all look at this. This is something else. Umar Johnson War on Black Boys. The documentary he doesn't want you to see. Yeah, because he doesn't. No one cares, Umar. You don't control the internet. Lennon Honors 2020 documentary about Umar Johnson and FDMG raises serious questions about the Prince of Pan-Africanism because he's spelling it with a K. One of Umar Johnson's many monikers. Affinity fraud. Y'all, let me pause for a second, do some shout outs. Make sure you guys are still tuned in. Listen here. I may have to break this up. This is a fantastic read, this lawsuit. But I don't want to be too long with it because I want to be able to keep it at the 2-hour mark and be able to break it down if I need to. So more than likely, there's going to be a part 2. And at some point, we're going to get to Nature Boy. But this is serious here because this lawsuit is highlighting some of the dangerous behavior of those who are a part of this cult of personality. Just like Nature Boy and Carbonation. I mean, Jim Jones. I mean, name a cult. David Koresh. The Stargazer, Starlight, something like that. Scientology. I mean, there's so many cults out here that have the same characteristics. And it always leads to something very dangerous happening to people. Look at David E. Taylor. I mean, he had a whole sex cult going on, and he claimed to be some sort of apostle of a church. He forced people to work in call centers with little to no pay and treated them like slaves, modern day slavery, to raise money. And it's insane how these people are. And then they get mad and they want to play the victim when they get caught. David E. Taylor was indicted by the FBI. And he called himself a man of God. Umar, you are not above reproach and you are not above the law. Don't think that if a corrupt judge that I've been reporting on for months can't go down, that you are somehow exempt from that. Unbelievable. And I do my research and reporting until it is concluded. Whatever the resolution is, just like with Novatech. I saw that all the way to the end when the SEC filed charges against them. The FBI still investigating. Just like this corrupt judge here in Georgia, in Fulton County. She's finally been recommended to be removed from the bench by the JQC. When it came to reporting on this corrupt mayor that was in Dalton and Tiffany Hilliard, she's still under FBI investigation. I see my reporting and research to the end. I just don't think he doesn't understand what he's up against with all the things that he's done or facilitated others to do in what sounds like a criminal organization. Now, do you all understand why it's important to file a complaint with the FBI? Because if you put all these elements together, it starts to look like a RICO. This is unbelievable how they're so bold and brazen with it. And to threaten to sexually assault someone, man, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this up. So I'm going to get to page 10, I think. This is page 7. Yeah, we'll get to page 10, and then I'll pause there and do a part 2 to this and go from there. because I don't want it to be more than 2 hours, y'all. Affinity fraud. Umar Johnson represents a class of affinity fraudsters, predators, scammers, opportunists, and agents who target the Black community, including but not limited to Brother Polite, real name Michael Nowak, Jay Morrison, real name Jermaine Morrison, Big Business, real name Greg Parker, as well as up-and-coming questionable individuals such as Had the Billionaire, Jahad Beckford. I don't even know who some of these people are. Fraudsters who carry out affinity scams frequently are or pretend to be members of the group they are trying to defraud. It could be a racial minority. Fraudsters target any group they think they can be convinced to trust them with the group members' hard-earned savings. Exactly. That's what Umar does. He doesn't go after wealthy donors. He doesn't accept, government funding because he knows that they would hold him to some level of a standard. But struggling Black people, for some reason, just can't seem to do that. And somehow think that threatening someone with S assaults is a good thing. You kidding me? All right. Oh, man. At its core, affinity fraud exploits the trust and friendship that exists in groups of people who have something in common. Citing the U.S. Securities and Exchange, the SEC, publication number 167-614, May 2023. Umar Johnson sells Black people the dream of heaven on earth in the form of FDMG, a non-existent school, according to Umar, will prepare Black boys to outmaneuver and overcome institutional racism in America, while he disrespects Black women and has his so-called flunkies threaten to assault sexually Black women, because of reasons. Hell is hot. Hell is hot. According to statements made by Umar Johnson in 2010, his FDMG Academy was supposed to open on September 1, 2013, nearly 10 years after the original stated opening date, and there's no FDMG school still. Harris, approximately age 28, is a habitual liar who owns and operates a highly questionable school named Amin Ra University via, Amin Tech LLC. Harris attempted to defraud and defame a Black woman in Michigan who tried to help him when he was homeless at Wayne State University. Reference the Hindsight Project. After Archibald V. Johnson became known to the public, Harris spread malicious lies about a Black man in Missouri, alleging he was preying on college students. Harris threatened to spread more lies about the same Black man in 23, stating, "You want to fight me, N-word." Harris is currently targeting a Black woman in Pennsylvania. Said woman is a noteworthy critic and detractor of Umar and FDMG. What is this whole thing about detractors? If someone wants to leave the dumb cult, let them go. The worst thing you can do is to try to sit here and call them out and harass them and hound them down and track them. Just let them go. Then you can save yourself and themselves from all this headache. Leave them alone. They don't want anything to do with your dumb cult. So leave them alone and let them out. They don't have to support Umar. He has not died on a cross for anybody. No one has to support him. So if someone decides, I don't want to support this clown and this shit show anymore, then leave them alone. Why even make that an issue? Why make that relevant on social media? You don't even have to talk about it. Most people wouldn't even know. So why even bring it up? They make it an issue. They manifest a problem by trying to go after people who are alleged detractors. So what? Umar, get the hell over it. You're a grown man. People don't have to support you. No one owes you anything. Get a job. But you bring light to the situation when you sit here and you sick your hounds and stuff from this, what sounds like a criminal organization, on someone that simply wants to step away from this whole FDMG thing. They don't have to support you. Leave them be. It's that simple. Because reasons. Oh my God. Poetik Flakko, approximately age 30. So I'm going to call him Poetik Flakko, is a habitual liar who claims to be the new MLK. Oh. Poetik Flakko has several names, including but not limited to Benyago Takpar, Frederick Jala. Is that twice? Oh, Jallah, and then this one is Jalla. Another Frederick, where Frederick is spelled different. It's like a variation of the same first and last name spelled differently. And Frederick Okoye. The name Frederick Minyago Jala consistently identifies himself as Poetik Flakko. After Archibald V. Johnson became known to the public, Flakko, along with Harris, rehashed the defamatory Shakim series about Lyndon Honor. Poetik Flakko has blamed several people for Archibald V. Johnson in 21. The good guys and their associates said that the court was corrupt for not tossing Archibald V. Johnson. No, it's not. It's called our justice system, and it is how it works. And if you don't like it, why don't you leave the country and take your cult leaders with you? Take your cult followers with you. All the good guys, bad guys, the ones that want to walk around here and sexually assault people. Why don't you get the hell out of the country? And then that way you don't have to worry about our American system, including our courts and our justice system. Go somewhere else and you can do what you want. I don't understand that. You're not going to abide by the rules and laws here in the U.S., then leave the country. Good luck in Morocco. Y'all hear November 22nd update about FDMG. Credit Lyndon Honor. Aired on November 15, 22. And this is the video they have here as an exhibit. Umar Johnson blames black people for the FDMG delay. Says grand opening will be February 23. Umar Johnson appears to be using Archibald V. Johnson to solicit donations and collect resumes for FDMG because, of course, he would. Of course, he monopolizes on a lawsuit where he's guilty as hell because self-snitching. Umar Johnson posted a September 22 order from this court on his social media accounts with requests for donations and resumes. Umar Johnson marketing and advertising scheme for FDMG is aimed at black people. Umar has repeatedly said he only wants black dollars defined by Johnson as money from black people to fund the development operation of FDMG because black people aren't using the people that support him. Not all of us. The people that support him are not questioning him about anything. They're not holding him accountable. And look what happens when they try to step away from it and not make a stink about it. He does. Because like any other narcissistic cult leader, he thinks someone owes him loyalty and their money. To present date, Umar has not provided a verifiable accounting of how much money he has raised from FDMG. Based on Umar's own statements and other verifiable information, Johnson has received millions of dollars from black people for FDMG. During Umar's most recent appearance on Power 105.1, The Breakfast Club, he stated that FDMG Academy was near completion. This was in December 22. We're on page 10. Approximately 1 month later, Umar Johnson said the FDMG Academy would begin in September of 24. Umar subsequently transitioned from announcing the opening of FDMG, which was announced in December of 22, to announcing the opening of a gymnasium located on FDMG's campus. And that was announced in January 23. No opening of FDMG Academy or a gymnasium took place in February of 23. Umar subsequently stated the FDMG Academy would be opened in April of 23. No opening occurred in April of 23. A former FDMG employee named Donald Murray filed a lawsuit in Delaware's state court system against Umar for unpaid wages in 21. Murray was successful in securing a judgment in his favor against Umar. Good for him. On June 1st of 23. Prior to the June 23 judgment, Delaware State Court ordered the Newcastle County Sheriff's Office to serve Murray's complaint on Umar at the FDMG campus in Wilmington, Delaware. Docket entry for Donald Murray versus Umar Johnson, CPU 4-21-000915. Civil summons issued to Newcastle County Sheriff on April 22nd, 21 for defendant Umar Johnson. The FDMG campus was described as summons returned, non-established on 4/26/21 as to Umar Johnson. The given provided address is MA High School. Buildings are boarded over windows and doors and appears vacated. Internet search says property foreclosed and also indicated don't believe the hype about subject buying the property. No matching DMV record, CJIS for subject. This is in the court docket. Unbelievable. Y'all, Okay, we're gonna end on this page here. The Newcastle County Sheriff's description of the FDMG campus highlights the lack of progress with campus renovations. The sheriff's description makes no mention of any renovations, any improvements, or any upgrades to the FDMG campus / property. What the hell? Y'all, where's James Miller at? He said he would send me an email of the vendors and the contractors and stuff, because reasons. Lying. On April 26, 21, the sheriff described the FDMG Academy's campus as vacant and vacated. On April 26, 21, is more than 2 years after Umar acquired FDMG's buildings. Umar has been requesting and accepting donations for FDMG renovations since 2019. Mighty funny how the sheriff described the campus to be vacant and vacated. And guess what? Umar never went to court. It's not like he's going to the sheriff's office and confronting them about anything either. Umar, why don't you have your good guys go pull up on the sheriff's office? See how well that goes for you. I mean, if you be so bold enough to challenge anything, why not challenge the court and challenge the sheriff? I'll wait. Because they got weapons and all. They also have the authority to arrest your ass on sight and shoot if they need to. Umar Tardians, why y'all not going to the sheriff's office? I double dog dare you to try to go up on the sheriff's at the sheriff's office. Umar, please do it. Please do it. I double dog dare you to go to court and try to confront the judge. You're talking about it's corrupt, but you won't say that to the judge in the presence of the judge in a court of law either, because you're a coward. All that energy you have for random people, but you won't take that energy to a sheriff's department or to the court itself. Now do you all see why I say cowards? They won't go to court to save their lives, but they want to sit here and dox people on the internet talking about pulling up and sexually assaulting people. The buffoonery of it all. Photographs of the FDMG campus here. This is from late November 2022. Look at this. And it still looks like this to this very day. 3 content creators went there. The Mademoiselle, FamerTube, and Uncle Mo TV. And then, of course, we got the photos from Miss K. Shout out to her. And more recent raw footage from Uncle Mo TV. Shout out to him. And it looks the same. None different. Yeah, this is crazy. During an online interview with host Storm Monroe on or about November 14, 22, Umar said FDMG will be opened in February 2023. It's not open. And we're going to stop right there. We'll start at page 12. On tomorrow. That's what we're going to end it, y'all. I double dog Umar to go to the sheriff's department and then try to sit here and huff and puff and go up and challenge those sheriffs. Please let that happen. I mean, seriously, why not go to the court? Umar never paid. Now, shout out to you, the informant media. Rico. Now do you all see, this is why I personally enjoy reading, court documents and lawsuit filings, because you get the truth. You get the facts. You get these exhibits. And that is what Umar fears. One of the things he fears anyway. He fears facing a judge in a court of law because he doesn't know the law. And he knows that he has done some illegal shit. He also doesn't want to pay money to go to court. He doesn't want to pay for attorneys, which is why I'm still curious as to why he would take donation money and pay attorneys to try to sue Marianne Lorient and then turn around and settle with her because he knew he would not win on its face value. He was the petitioner in that complaint. He would not have been able to meet his burden. Bottom line. So, yeah, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. This is something else. There's still no school website. None. And we're coming up on 2 hours. So, we're going to tune in and finish this up tomorrow, you guys. I thank you guys for being patient with me. I had to reschedule this a few times, but we're going to finish this up tomorrow. This is something else. So make sure you guys hit that like button and tune in tomorrow for the next part 2 And until then, thank you all so much. Shout out to all of you that's in here and tuning in to the Lady Luck Club. And for, this is like story time for us all. All right. So tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, part 2 will pick up from page 12. I won't even bother with the page. I'm just going to leave it at that. And we'll see you all then. And Lady Luck Club out. Love you guys. Deuces.